Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back. I'm Will Dragon, and we are going to continue to play Burden of Command. Go ahead and continue. We are doing the, I'm hoping, second half of boot camp. I'm hoping it doesn't go past this episode. I mentioned last episode, the tutorial, the learning stage was a little bit painful, but I am very much looking forward to getting into the game proper. So we are going to keep playing the game. We are going to give it its fair chance and its due.
A good leader needs to be able to think ahead, anticipate a situation, and make a decision based on the best information available.
So we are back, and so like I said, we are in the second half of the tutorial. At last, the fighting dies down. This, of course, is what I'm hoping is going to shape up to be an absolutely gorgeous leadership RPG. That's what it claims itself to be. And so we will see what happens. So we drew on both mission and men. The referees called it a draw, nothing you could do about it. Why are you in the army? Duty. Right, to defend the ones they drafted me for this shit. To defend the ones I love. And just like that, the exercise is over. The next will begin shortly. Lack of cover can be useful. Okay, I just got a little warning message there. I don't know if it appeared on your screen. Something about cotton ballers. Camp picket. Age your men. Continue your journey. Age your men. Resources you spend on your men. Mouse over 4 more. Captain earns extra trust and experience based on men versus mission performance. You can see overall unit status at a glance. 1, select a unit. 2, decide where to help. 3, make a change. The cost is above. 4, you can undo. Global undo. During training, only experience and trust for leaders will be available to modify. And then you'll need these other actions to aid your men. Okay, so Captain Lamb, men +5, mission +17. That's prestige. This is trust, no loyalty. I have 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th platoon. Lieutenant Stern, Lieutenant Dearborn, Lieutenant Wilson, Lieutenant Unnamed. That is the one I'm currently going through. 1st squad, 1st platoon, 2nd squad, 3rd squad. I assume that goes all the way across. With the different platoons. Mortar squad, MG squad, MG squad. That's 4th platoon. Commander experience earned. Commander trust earned. Placements 4, prestige 7, loyalty 5. If I go and click on this troop. Experience ranges from 0 to 500. Every 100 experience generates a positive modifier for actions and is reflected by a star on the unit banner. A unit's own experience improves fire and morale checks. Leaders' bolstering is based on trust, not experience. So we have 9, 0, and 0. Cost 2 loyalty, 2 prestige. Rest, that's loyalty and prestige. Increases experience by 25 at the cost of 2 loyalty and 2 prestige. Well, I'm not going to bother giving anyone anything. I mean, nobody's got anything yet anyway with the training. But it's a good little look at what we can do. Casualties, combat fatigue, and stress. Okay, continue your journey. So that looks like the kind of in-between mission screen to help keep your soldiers on their feet. Obviously, you're only going to get so much. So you're going to have to make your hard choices. Do you keep everybody average? Do you have a few good squads to really help pull you through? You know, what's going to really be the winning? 24th September 1942.
Well, it was infantry. And infantry is different than cavalry. We didn't have horses, but they had light tanks. The cavalry did.
So what kind of training then would you have in the infantry?
Bayonet, hand grenade, You don't throw a hand grenade like a baseball, you lob it.
Lob it in an arc so it goes over and in. That was Gerald Yaxley. Nice little story bit added there. 24th September 1942, Camp Pickett, Virginia. The soldiers of your platoon are weary in their boots as they march back to their starting places. The morning run and the recent field problem have both clearly taken their toll. Platoon Sergeant Bennett glances your way, and the unspoken question of whether to quicken or slacken the pace lingers between you. The men will be fatigued and suffer a little suppression. They will also require a little experience. Experience will eventually increase unit performance. They will require very little experience. Ready for the coming exercise and suffer no suppression. They will also require no experience. Let's give them experience. Time for double time. Few choice insults to put the men into columns. The men gripe about this until they're doing double time. In the assembly area, the field umpire with the captain's bar gives a little nod and recites his expected line. This field problem concerns fire and movement, culminating with an assault upon the objective, except this time your platoon will have support from your company's weapons platoon, 4th platoon. Heavy weapons coming up, Lieutenant. Sergeant Bennett notes as a dozen men from the weapons platoon hustle over. They don't have real 30 pals yet, just logs painted black. Those are supposed to be as heavy as the real thing, but the beefy officer leading the weapons platoon carries a log as if it were no heavier than a baseball bat. Lieutenant Stern. No change to verbosity. Verbosity is one of the 3 character traits. A lack of it reflects how stoic an officer is. Verbosity does not impact the tactical battlefield, but may add some chrome to conversations. Field umpire will take care of things. Sure enough, field umpire waves Stern over. You're almost late, Lieutenant. Field umpire notes. It was a long run from the target range, Stern replies evenly, but it'll be the Krauts who will be doing the running when we take a crack at them. Yes, well, today's objective is for a combined arms assault on the farmhouse down there. Field umpire says and points to a little house in the distance. Time will be, as it ever is, a factor. Wait until it is clear the umpire is done talking. Stern looks your way. Tell me what to hit, and we'll hit it hard enough for you to schlep right over, he says, then glances down at the 30 cal in his hands and chuckles. Well, we'll pretend to. Anyway. Back to your platoons, lieutenants. The field umpire says to you both. You are allowed only limited communication whilst the exercise is paused. In particular, the weapons platoon will be initially unavailable. Understood. Good, because it is part of the exercise, the field umpire replies, and that is apparently that. Remember, rifles first, then the machine gun. Stern gives you a knowing nod at that news, as the two of you depart for your different platoons. Consider how best to develop this field problem. Your 3 rifle squads are organized as part of 1st platoon. Machine gun and mortar are part of the weapons platoon. Each platoon has a leader in command. Stern is in charge of the weapons platoon. Shooting expends up to 2 orders, 1 order to move. 1 order to shoot, 2 orders to move. 2 orders to shoot, 2 orders to move. 1 order to move or shoot may use bolster, rally, or press. Okay. So a mortar squad is either a move or shoot. The MG squad can lay down heavy fire as long as it doesn't move. And rifle squad is a bit of a mix, unknown. We've got everything but tanks, Sergeant Bennett remarks. Each platoon will have a different role to play. Rifles expend up to 2 orders to shoot, but only 1 to move. Machine guns expend 1 to shoot, but cost at least 2 to move. Mortars cost 2 and 2. Unit gains temporary morale if a leader is present. Shooting and assault become even more effective. Suppression removed via rally. Suppression via combat shock. Casualties and stars. Some of the combat outcomes you will have to sort, and yes, these can be accessed by the GUI reference screen. Oh, I think this has been another tutorial thing. I'll click to resume.
Bennett tells me
Tactics.
You're progressing, LT. So today we get to talk about tactics, not just mechanics.
Okay, I'm going to pay attention to
why
these.
Why don't we go to, I think, the core of how we're different.
It says not mechanics, but these are going to, I feel,
that the casual gamer or others might be
greatly
familiar with, namely
influence
Bang Bang
mechanics.
Bang You're Dead games. This is true a fair number of tactical World War II games too, but I don't think of reality. You know, people don't want to die. You fire at them, they're going to get down behind the stone wall, and your bullets aren't going to do much. So, instead, you need what's called the 4Fs. So here we are in Germany. You've got elements of a rifle platoon. You've got Germans up north. And your goal is to suppress them first. You're not going to succeed in killing them. They're in pretty good cover, and they're going to put their heads down. So you've started firing, but it's not just bang, 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 even for suppression. You have to be smart. You have to use your leadership. You have to bolster. Improving their fire. The leader is directing the fire here. He's using a heavy weapon, which is intimidating, higher rate of fire, puts more bullets around the squad. And, you know, when you hear bullets whizzing by, you start to be suppressed, meaning you're keeping your head down. And you can see the color bars here are telling us the state of the enemy's morale. They've gone from green to yellow, and they will shortly be at red. They've been doing an effective job here. He's suppressed. Ah.
A whistle blows. Okay, what are the 4Fs? Fire, 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 and fire? The field problem begins. Finish the exercise before turn 2. Don't get anyone killed. 1. Squad 2. Shoot. Rifle squads may shoot up to 5 hexes away. Shooting will consume up to 2 orders. Shooting through the woods will not provide the enemy with cover, but the building they are in certainly will. Right click to shoot. This consumes 1 leader order, up to 2 rifle squads. Like, do I have to do this? Here's my LT. Shooting through the woods will not provide the enemy with cover, but the building they're in certainly will. Well, they provide. So it won't provide me with cover either. So when they shoot back. Okay, they're surprised. Stone wall stop bullets, Lieutenant, Sergeant Bennett says, but they're not invincible over there. We've got the firepower. Let's have the other squad keep their heads down until Stern is ready. You give the order and your men take aim. The enemy was already partially suppressed, so this should be a little easier. To shoot, full cover is a full shield. Left cover is a less of a shield. A lack of cover can be lethal. Okay, full. First squad, first platoon, and them. Full shield, full shield. Got it. So I can see that on both sides. So I assume that's. You signal Sergeant Grant across the way. He replies with equal vigor and gets the other squad into position. A glance through your binoculars reveals Private Roberts as the soldier squints through the circular iron sight at the distant target. Besides him is Private Hancock, who apparently has again mislaid the protective ears on either side of his submachine gun's sights, no doubt to remove something he considers to be a distraction. Trust +1. Officers are more than foot soldiers. Trying to be one is a bad trade. That's probably it for rifle work, Sergeant Bennett says, as the referee makes their calculations. But we could give them a taste of 30 cal instead. Same rounds, but lots more of them if we had permission to use a radio. No radios are available. However, we do have the flags. The umpire waves at a set of flags marked radio. You could always send a runner, of course, slower but more reliable if they don't get shot. What I really want to employ is the mortar, because they are in a building. There is no counter to artillery, not when the shells get lobbed at range. But the umpire didn't want that, so it didn't happen. Okay. Signal stone with flags. Signal stone with the flags, and he signals back an acknowledgement. All the while, the enemy keeps their heads down.
We further reinforce that sense of limited command and control by dividing the turn into leader rounds. If it's your leader round, you only get to lead your men, and you don't get to lead them doing Stern's leader round.
Okay. To get the heavy weapons involved, you'll have to switch leaders by ending the round. Anyone will have a chance to react by taking their own round. That can't be helped right now. Stern confirms the message. The umpire marks his clipboard. In just a little bit, the real star of this show will come to the machine guns. Those can spit out a lot of firepower under Stern's command. Got it. You do one lieutenant at a time.
That end toward the enemy.
Got it. Bang, 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 bang. End the round. Generally, only one platoon leader can be leading at a time. The spacebar is the hotkey to end the round. If the enemy has their turn, have Stern open fire with the MG. Machine guns have a longer range than rifles, and unlike rifle squads, can fire multiple times for one order each. However, movement costs an MG squad 2. So he gets to shoot back a little bit. They get to shoot back a little bit. They are undaunted. Sauerkraut ist und mein Gott.
Get the 30 cal ready.
They are cowering. That's the sound to hear and fear, especially since the machine gun is firing at the enemy beyond the effective range of their rifles. Sergeant Bennett declares, and that's before they get a taste of the mortar. Nearby, the field umpire checks his watch. Everything is time. There was a lot of firepower worth the weight of carrying it forward, Sergeant Bennett says, but if we really want to make them huddle and puddle in their boots, we'll need the mortars. Lieutenant Stern will spot the fall of his unit's mortar rounds from his location. The umpire indicates that is the only way to ensure accuracy. The leader can direct artillery from his position. The mortars don't need to be able to see the enemy directly to lob shells at them. They just need Stern to be in a position to spot the fall of the rounds. The mortars could sit safely on the reverse slope of a hill and still contribute to the battlefield. In fact, that is the way they prefer to conduct themselves. Support assets. US Mortar 3rd Squad.
Lay it on him.
Left click Stern. 2. Spot with the mortars. Pick support asset, 60mm mortar. Drop on enemy. You found, fired, and fixed, but no casualties.
This.
So now you must finish.
There weren't any casualties. So now we have to, ideally, flank and finish. And Dearborn, let's hope you can do the job here. So it's really about sort of laying down the field work for success. There's a lot of games that focus on drama melee, but from what I've read, for instance, in Leo Murray's book, actually most assaults led to surrender or retreat because people suppressed don't really want bayonets in the stomach.
Find, fire, fix, and finish. While that captain, lives are at stake. Moment of calm amid the chaos. Go on with the exercise. There you go, Lieutenant, Sergeant Bennett says at the moment of calm fades. There ain't nothing a soldier can do about a shell that has his name on it. However, the squad isn't considered dead, merely pinned, field umpire notes, and they'll stay that way unless you execute an assault to either take prisoners or force the enemy to retreat. Bang, bang, bang will not take positions or prisoners. A squad will just hunker down behind cover and wait things out. That is why you will need to make an assault on it. Let's take him in the flank, Sergeant Bennett says. No one fights hard if you hit him in the kidneys from the get-go. And if we can stay out of their sights, so much the better. When Stern ceases fire, you will attempt exactly that. A revealed enemy threatens these orange outlined hexes. They could perform opportunity fire on units moving through them. Orange outlined hexes can be targeted by known enemies with opportunity fire, and known enemies hidden elsewhere might still be able to fire as well. Your men will just not know about it in advance. Battlefield can become cluttered with messages and indicators, like this on top of whatever's trying to tell me here. This unit has high morale, has been bolstered, and is flanking. Assault chance plus 97%. The odds of successfully initiating an assault can vary greatly. Even a moderately suppressed squad will almost never be able to manage it. But if a squad is in good morale, it gets bolstered and takes the enemy in the flank, well, they will almost always commence the assault. To see if the squad meets that criteria, look for the flanking morale boost indicator. You might shoot at the enemy all day and only ever inflict suppression. To make sure you remove the enemy from play, inflict suppression, and then take prisoners via an assault. End the round to switch over to the rifle squad. Select these units. Then bolster.
That's the way!
Left click to select assault. Use waypoints. Now, I wasn't paying attention earlier when it came to using waypoints, so I'm not actually entirely sure how you use waypoints. Settings, unit basis, hex grid. Good. Okay, no, I don't want that. I want that done. Save my menu, difficulty, quit, return. Okay. They've been bolstered. And I assume taking out a lieutenant is a huge thing, because obviously if they're the ones that have to give orders, what happens to their squad if the lieutenant gets lost? No, see, I want to go through this square. Well, that's settings. Damn it, this is because I didn't pay attention in the last tutorial, and I managed to gloss over how you set waypoints. Help. Things you must know, 4 pages. Orders, morale, specific, each other, Chain of command, 2 pages. How to win, unit types. Spot this spot, opportunity knock, secret recipe for morale, our spicy sauces. The gentle 3-page guide, the bullet version, no cover, light cover, medium cover, heavy cover, extreme cover. What the enemy always seems to have, of course. Face your enemy. Enemy at a glance is a damn important skill for a leader. This breaks down to morale, orders, and facing. Ha! Terrible, could be trouble, we'll kick your ass. Got it. Hotkeys. Control and right click to establish waypoints. Done. Thank you very much. Flanking morale boost. There you go, because I'm hitting them from the side. Do this. MC, go hand to hand. Go hand to hand.
Let's get it done!
MC, surrender. Beautiful work, boys. We've taken the farmhouse. Squad has surrendered. That's the way, LT. Sergeant Bennett waves you over as the enemy soldiers in their red armbands run off. It'll be harder overseas, but we've got the method down here. Behind him, the field umpire ticks another box on his clipboard. Look at these boys. This green donut shows an approximate 70% chance to initiate an assault. Initiate, not win. Winning depends on other factors. Now the enemy squad has been sighted, the field umpire notes. They are attempting to reinforce the objective and now have begun a counterattack. You must deal with them. Extra time added. Yes, the field umpire replies. 5 more minutes. Whistle blow. The exercise resumes at once. New enemy. Alright, so we're looking good. It is our turn. These 2 boys are not looking good. You are not in cover. I do have no activations left. I do, on the other hand, have this squad ready to go. They are in... I mean, I'm in partial cover. They are in partial cover. They will be flanked and surprised. So let's do that. Flanking, surprising. Got a good bit of target cover from both of us. Growl, mod, unknown, unit advanced. Let's go and flank this squad and hopefully... Wish I worked with a mortar. Oh no, was that a casualty? New enemy. They are... Recon by fire. They are pretty... They've taken a nice bit of damage. That is the end of my turn. Everything has been spent. Let's end the round. We are now on Lieutenant Dern. NG squad, let's flank them again. 1, 2, 4, 5. I am within their range. That's fine. A much better initiative winning chance. They are very heavily suppressed. Once the enemy is suppressed, end the round, not the turn, and then switch to the rifle squads to make an assault. End leader round. This, or press spacebar to end your round. The enemy may then activate a leader and his units for their leader round, then back to you to activate or pass. Rinse and repeat. Both sides pass. Now I don't have anything from the LT, so I kind of have to, because I'm not going to be... That's my mortar squad. Yes, the mortar squad is done. Yeah, no, we're done. Turns left 3. Goodnumber makes another note on his clipboard. Great exercise so far, Heart Lieutenant. Sergeant Bennett asks, pitching his voice up to be heard by the field umpire. The lessons learned from the extended exercise will help save lives over there. The rare valid point, the field umpire remarks before you can put in a word. Proceed. Okay, they are in pretty bad condition. We're looking pretty good back here. Let's save these squads to how they are. I mean, both of these squads are now cowering. Let's first... We have 3 points left. I need 1 to activate, but I will then need 1 to move with them as well, so I don't think I can bolster. That takes 2. Huh? They'll get an opportunity attack, so I don't want to do that. Too far. Okay. Oh, that only took me 1 leader action. Okay. MC, go hand to hand. Go hand to hand.
Heroes of the free fucking world here. I know. I'm with you.
They've been flanked. They are suppressed. See how they do. The other squad is taken prisoner. No running off this time. Whistles blow. Now the exercise is truly over. Field umpire signals for you and Bennett to approach. Minor victory. Loyalty earned 9. The mission, minor victory. Prestige earned 10. No one out of action, sir. And, you know, let's continue. Let's push this episode a smidge.
Being a strong leader also meant being able to rely on others to help get the job done. That included fellow soldiers who had vastly different strengths and weaknesses than his own.
And so this exercise is over. The umpire's pencil marks a final note to the paperwork atop the clipboard. Mission, minor victory. Finish the field problem before turn 3. The referee determines this to be the best outcome possible for the current field problem. Men, minor victory. Referee determines that casualties were minimal, below 10%. Full marks, field umpire says, but the next exercise will not be so easy. You share no luck with Sergeant Bennett. End the scenario. Your men gather up all 3 squads. Personalize your platoon. This is my platoon. To personalize your own officer, first right-click your leader portrait. You can then click Edit button. You can change your name, portrait, or the platoon's insignia. When you click on other officers, you can also change their platoon's insignia, but not their name or portrait. Squad names can be changed. Current mindsets and details are also displayed, discussed later. The schedule is tight. While there is still daylight, the next exercise is waiting. All right, well, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we are going to end. So I've got another pop-up just for people. ICA tag by Sen failed. None for sane campaign tutorial 2 post inti. And tag none for campaign Al cotton ballers. I don't know if that's the same as what I had last time, but I think it was pretty similar. Soft error, non-fatal. So yeah, we're going to leave the episode there. When we come back, we will do the last exercise. We will also be personalizing our squad. So if you'd like to suggest a name, please feel free in the comments down below. For any of my 3 squads, for myself as well. And if there's a particular portrait you think that you might want to try and select. I don't know if all of these ones here are available. I assume the women aren't available for lieutenants, because I'm pretty sure there were no lieutenants leading infantry in World War II. Just a thought. And so on that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for joining me, and until we see you again, I hope that you will stay safe, happy, and healthy.